Yeah, hey everybody, this is Ian from mindfulmarketplace.com. And in this video, I'm actually going to give you a really quick email template for those of you who are building local communities. This is something that we've started to revisit in the last month or so, sending out email invitations and outreach of all different types and stripes to build in this case, niche community. But this particular email I had written a few years ago for a small group of clients, and we were doing local outreach. And as I'm stumbling through some of these files, I thought I would share them with everyone else. So if you want, you can actually you can download this from your members area in PDF form, and you could also access it in your members area and fill it out on your own. I do actually want to let you guys know who are paying attention to these workflows that we are doing a whole new outreach campaign for our mindful marketplace community. You can actually look at community.mindfulmarketplace.com to see a brand new blog that we just set up, a community multi-author blog that just launched on the 15th of June. And we're doing a whole bunch of ads, emails, offers that are predicated around building a brand new community, a multi-author community that I'm pretty excited about. So it's not really designed to make money. It's more designed to connect with folks in our professional orbit. And anyway, I'm not going to get too much into that here, but you can certainly check that out if you're interested. All right, here is the template. And again, you can download this in your members area, and it works pretty well. All right, so this is pre-launch invite template with triggers, and there's a couple other examples that will make more sense when you see them in your admin area. All right, so intro. Hi, my name is Ian from yourdomain.com. Our goal is to become the definitive resource for everything happening in your city. Over the next 4 months, we will add every business listed in blank city by XYZ date. And again, you just want to trigger some initial urgency and certainty and sense of import, right? Core elements one, we're starting by adding the businesses that we feel are the absolute best of the city, or the quintessent examples of this niche or whatever it is that you're doing, and we'd love for you to join us, right? And the trigger here is an appeal to ego and a sense of status. Again, I've done this quite successfully in the past, where you're essentially telling people that you are starting now, right? So that you're almost excusing the fact that you're almost building in the excuse that you have very few listings already, right? And you're telling them that you're starting by adding the quintessential representation of a certain of the best of a certain city, whether it's a niche or whether it's the entire locality, right? So I'm kind of saying this badly, but I think you get the point. Like if you're focused on a local area and you're starting small, right? You have nothing yet to really show. It's a great way of saying we don't have anything to show because we're starting with just the best of the best, and you're the first to get notified of this, right? So it almost makes sense that in the first couple days or the first week or two, you're going to have not very many listings. All right, and then when you add your own listing, you get the following benefits, and then you have just appeal to action. When you add during our pre-launch phase, you can also and have another appeal to action now, right? So you're just trying to add some urgency into this process. And I would make some changes to this now as I reread this in 2020. I don't want to get too far afield, with regard to this specific, workflow, but essentially we've been using Typeform, right, rather than using the themes built in. And I've covered this in many, many different ways and places and spaces about why we're moving away from WordPress, and I'm entirely moving away from WordPress for these style sites. But I find that Typeform is really great for impressing or giving you the appearance of superpowers. On these sorts of sites, Typeform you can start for free. We actually pay for it, but it just gives a lot. You can add some really cool elements. You can duplicate type forms and add different urgency offers. So different groups of people are getting different style, invitations, etc. I know I'm saying this sort of, awkwardly this morning. I've tremendously bad headache, and I'm just going to power through this regardless. All right, I have a couple of these to record today, so hopefully this is going to be helpful for those of you who are paying attention. All right, the value proposition. All right, all listings are free, and for those months or moments you want to get extra attention, if you want to add even more features to your listing, events, products, coupons, videos, with our premium listings. Again, this isn't worded. I'm just reading this through again for the first time with a lot of attention. So there's some kind of grammatical issues here, but you can fix those on your own. All right, trigger. All right, this is where you're going to, use social proof, right? So this is where, again, you're going to be a little bit strategic and a little bit clever about what you're doing here. So I would seed the site, right, with 20 of the best listings pre-added, right, with all the premium fee-based features that you're already asking for, or I'm sorry, the premium fee-based features that you are upselling, right? I would have those included. For an example, you could have, events, marketplace style or coupon style sidebars attached to the premium listings, urgency offers, et cetera, on the premium listing. So this is actually what you're going to be sending these initial folks to look at, and they're going to see people they know with all of the premium features in place, and you actually added those premium, that you seeded the site with those with those initial listings, right? So you're actually using social proof where people are saying, well, shit, Joe Blow, who's a great lawyer, is, on the site, and, he's got a coupon or an invitation or an event or whatever. And again, you're just taking those from, wherever you can. I mean, you can embed like Facebook events, you can use something like, a coupon like not WC coupons. What's it called? WP coupons, I think. I forget. I've talked about this in the past. I haven't used it in a while. But you can just add things to the sidebar that are really appealing, and it makes it look like, it uses social proof and persuades people that they ought to, that other folks are already opted into this, are already doing this, and they should too. And you can do this very ethically. There's nothing, if people are advertising coupons in a public way and you're using those in their seeded listings, there's no ethical, concerns about that. They're going to be appreciative, as would I or would you, if you found yourself in a local city being prominently positioned and promoted as the best of the best of a given city, right? And in closing, we have a fun, vibrant, and exciting launch coming up. Again, have the date, preferably 30 days away or so, and we really hope you'll join us. The trigger here is giving yourself and them a reasonable time window. 30 days is good for me, as it reduces some pressure. You're not like saying we're launching on Sunday, but it also has an element of urgency, right? It's not a tremendous amount of time in the future, and it gives you, most importantly, a few follow-up emails to send that conform to the date you sent, right? So you can send one out 10 days later, send another one out 10 days after that, and still have a last invite, to go out, let's say 3 days before the 30 days are up. I would also say, by the way, that it is important, I think, and this is more of my own ego and my own sense of pride, but I stick to that, right? So if you're offering people a whole bunch of initial stuff, right, in this beta launch phase, and it's really, umbrellaed in this beta or pre-launch phase, that's really the kind of mode that you're in. If people don't take me up on these things, I do not I don't budge on that, right? I mean, you want to be, I don't want to say strict, but you want to actually be disciplined and confident, right? And if you believe in what you're doing, and you should, then, if you're giving shit away now that's really valuable, and you're incentivizing people to sign up early, and you've sent them these 3 or 4 follow-up emails, and they don't take you up on it, but then 45 days later, choose to, well, you give them regular price, right? I mean, they don't get those same, um, you know, advantages that they would have gotten had they taken advantage of the offer you made in the very beginning. I will say this really quickly. I had a guy the other day who commented on something that I had done, on the web, right? And then, in our mindful community, and I sent him an email, right? So he just left a comment, but I sent him an email and invited him to participate in something that was just happening a couple days ago, and he didn't respond, right? But I can see by dint of my analytics that the guy keeps coming back to the site and rereading and rereading and rereading, the nature of what we're doing, right? So he's definitely interested. He definitely got the email that I sent, but he didn't respond. And my mental makeup is, if he doesn't respond, and this applies to everyone, not just him, of course, but I'm not going to give him that same invitation becomes null and void in my mind, right? So you want to feel like what you're doing has value. You want to feel like you're offering real value. You don't want to feel like you're begging people to participate on your platform, because if you think about it that way, there's something important psychologically that works to your detriment. Okay, all right. So the final PS, always have a PS. We have a great partnership program. You can join to earn free online marketing services. If I was a little smarter, I would have spelled marketing, not marketering. From SEO to social media to contests and more. Feel free to sign up for our free VIP partnership program here to get thousands of dollars of brand building services totally free. Thanks so much. And then sign your name, and then have a trigger here, right? In this case, Facebook page that has to have a nice fan base. This could be Pinterest, it could be Twitter, it could be anywhere that you are, out there in the world with some influence, right? So a big piece of this, and you can pay for this. That's what we did. I paid for that influence, that appearance of influence. I just bought, I just ran thousands of dollars worth of Facebook ads over time to generate our audience, and I still do that today, right? So it's the 16th of June or the 17th of June 2020, I'm still running ads every day on Facebook to promote content that we're publishing, so that when I invite people to look at that post, look at that page, they see there's a lot of engagement, right? There's nothing unethical about that, or it's actually helpful, right? Because people are engaging with our page, and they see that the posts have a lot of engagement in addition to a pretty good fan base. You can do the same thing on Pinterest without paying. You can just build a nice size Pinterest page and use that as your trigger, right? You want to have so there are 3 things. I'm not going to cover these here, but trust, traction, and traffic, right? You want to show that people can trust you. You want to show that you have traction, and that you want to show that you can generate traffic for them or conversions for them. I would argue today in 2020, conversions are more important than just traffic. But the traction piece is this, right? Facebook page shows there is some marketplace influence that we have established that allows us to say we have traction in a in our space, right? And you can do that pretty inexpensively or for free, using social media platforms in particular. Again, what can you borrow to build? What can you leverage to launch? I mean, Facebook is served me incredibly well, in that respect, right? Just using Facebook on a new project to say, hey, this might be new, but if you look at our Facebook page, you'll see we ain't new. We got a lot of people engaged, a lot of audience engagement. We have a lot of interest in our platform, et cetera, et cetera. And then finally, just have your directory site, live URL, and this can even be a coming soon page if you're using something like Typeform for the what's the phrase I'm looking for here? If you're looking for the member submissions to come from outside of the WordPress directory itself. Again, those of you who are paying attention to me, know that I'm not necessarily a huge fan of building all these things on WordPress anymore, but certainly I know most of you will be and are, and that's certainly good enough to launch something profitable, fun, and exciting. Okay, so you can download this if you're interested. I have a couple more of these I'm recording today, all with templates that you can capture and copy and emulate for your own approach. Okie doke. I appreciate you watching. Again, download this in your members area. If you're watching this on YouTube and you're interested in joining us, there's a link for that below. Thanks so much. Have a great day.